Hello everybody, this is Ethraiel from TurkerHub. In our last video, we wrote a sanity check that made sure our script only ran on the RNR 8-cent hits. That turned out pretty well, and so today we're going to write an event listener to listen for key up events so that when we hit the enter key, we also click the submit button. So you can see there I can't submit the hit, and I also realized that for this hit specifically, it's not extremely practical. You already have your mouse going everywhere, and it's probably more difficult to hit enter than it is to just click, but it's useful to learn for a lot of hits, and I can show you here, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to go over to the Jquery API documentation for keyup, and you can see here the different ways that it's used and what it can do. Some examples down here, pretty close to what we're going to be doing actually, but I'm just going to copy a very simple example that they have written out here so I can talk about what's going on a little bit. So in this instance, we would be listening for keyup events inside an element with an ID of target. And that's what the hash symbol means, is ID. And we don't want a specific element to listen for keyup events. We want the whole page. So the way we do that is the only selector, I think, that does not use quotes, documents. So jQuery watch the whole document for keyup events and then do something when you detect them. So if you notice over here where it tells you what you can do, this second one says an event object containing data that will be passed to the event handler. That's what we need, and I guess that's the shortest and most complicated way at the same time to say that we're going to pass the data to a function. And then down here, I think also you'll see that it just says function event, which is what that means. So we're going to copy that, and event up here could be E. You'll see it is E a lot. I'm going to write event because I like being obvious, I guess. And then we're going to show you a cool little thing with the console log again, our handy dandy console log. So we're going to save this, and what this is going to do is when there's a keyup event on the document at all, we're going to print that event's data to the console. So let's see what that looks like. Let's actually Control-Shift-J. I don't usually use that, but it should. Yay, right to the console. So we're going to refresh, I think, and then we should be able to hit like 1 or enter, and then you'll see the event data here. So you'll notice that the key right there is 1, and the key should say enter, and then it has a key code here, and then the which is the same as the key code or character code. And I guess you have one or the other depending on certain things. Google search I did earlier said use which. So that's what we're going to do. And the way you do that, I'm just going to go ahead and write out our conditional. Let's just comment that out so it doesn't run. And so let's write out our conditional. Make sure we put all our parentheses and brackets in the right place, then we'll write it out. So if the event has a which value that is equal to 13, go ahead and do stuff. Oh man, I messed that up bad. That's okay, that happens. Equal. If the event data has a which value of 13, then we're going to click on the submit button. So I'm just going to type that out, and then we'll need the some kind of identifier for the submit button. So we've done this before. Just click on it, and you can see even on the hover, you can see the ID is submit button, which is nice of RNR. Real simple. And you'll notice also on that hover that it says button in pink or purple. I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see me. And then it has a hash symbol followed by submit button. So that's exactly what we want, is that hash symbol. So that says it's an ID, and then the ID submit button. And that actually, folks, is everything. So the whole document is listening for keyups. When it finds one or detects one, it's going to ask if the event data was enter, which is the and I'll put all the links here, but you can see this key code website is kind of handy. Key code is 13. Um, if it's entered, then we click the submit button. So I think I just saved that. We'll refresh, and it should pop up a little thing saying you got to accept the hit first, but enter. Yeah, cool. So that works, and you guys know how to do that now. And I think that's it, folks. So we'll leave that like that for now. The next video, I think, is going to be hiding the instructions, and then including a button to toggle them either hidden or not hidden. And we'll be using event listeners for that. So hopefully you got something out of this. Bye, folks. Have a good one.